I wonder, a reflection for Holy Week. As human beings, we have a wonderful range of emotions as we engage with others and respond to the environment. Emotions such as joy, fear, sadness, anger, and love, to name just a few. The events of Holy Week, as recorded in the Gospels, clearly state a whole range of emotions. However, we can never be certain which emotions people are really experiencing at any one time. We can only wonder at what they might be. So let's take a moment to consider what those emotions might have been during that week and who experienced them. Palm Sunday. What joy and hope the disciples must have been experiencing as they were welcomed into Jerusalem, with palm leaves being strewn on the road before themselves and Jesus, and shouts of Hosanna. Those gathering for the Passover festival must have felt great excitement. He was the king who was going to free them from the Roman rule. I wonder how Jesus felt receiving this reception, as the people shouted and clamoured to see him. I expect that those in authority felt very anxious when faced with this response from the crowds, who were gathered for this very special festival time. Would they need to deal with resulting unrests? Would the peace of this special festival be shattered? Holy Monday. What a contrasting day! As Jesus returned to Jerusalem, he passed by a fig tree and cursed it. And entering the temple, he showed real anger at how the space was being used for exchange of money and the selling of doves. So he turned over the tables. What a surprise for those stall holders! And did their shock turn quickly to anger? I wonder what the disciples thought when seeing Jesus this angry. Had they ever seen Jesus this angry before? I expect that they were both very shocked and anxious as to any reprisals there could have been. Did they begin to fear for their lives because they followed Jesus? Maundy Thursday. Jesus and the disciples were gathered in an upper room for a meal together. I wonder how they felt when Jesus insisted on washing their feet, something that they would normally have expected to do for him. Peter was appalled by this act, but once Jesus had explained his action, he allowed Jesus to continue. No doubt the other disciples were shocked and a little surprised too. Then a feeling of confusion and anxiety as Jesus spoke about a traitor amongst them and that he would be going away. I wonder how Jesus felt when he told his friends this news. It could not have been easy for him. Telling anyone bad news is difficult, yet alone to those who've been with him for such a very long time. After the meal, a place of peace in the Garden of Gethsemane. So they thought, until Judas and soldiers arrived to take their friend and master away. How fearful they must have been. I wonder what Jesus' feelings were at this point. Good Friday. Feelings of hopelessness and despair were probably what the disciples experienced, as they could do nothing to help Jesus without putting their own lives at risk. Would those in authority be gloating at last? They had a good reason to get rid of this troublemaker. Or did they have a guilty conscience? I wonder.
My transgressions were bound into a yoke. By the Lord's hand they were fastened together. They weigh on my neck, sapping my strength. The Lord handed me over to those whom I cannot withstand. For these things I weep. My eyes flow with tears, for a comforter is far from me, one to revive my courage. My children are desolate, for the enemy has prevailed. Zion stretches out her hands, but there is no one to comfort her. The Lord has commanded against Jacob that his neighbours should become his foes.
My eyes flow with rivers of tears because of destruction of my people. My eyes will flow without ceasing, without respite, until the Lord from heaven looks down and sees.
My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me? From the words of my groaning, do not, O Lord, withhold your mercy from me. Let your steadfast love and your faithfulness keep me safe forever. For evils have encompassed me without number. My iniquities have overtaken me, until I cannot see. They are more than the hairs of my head, and my heart fails me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me.
What utter sadness and disbelief for those who saw Jesus on the cross as he died. We can only wonder at the depth of their emotions at this point.
Now there was a garden in the place where he was crucified, and in the garden there was a new tomb in which no one had ever been laid. And so, because it was the Jewish day of preparation, the tomb was nearby. They laid Jesus there. The woman who had come with him from Galilee followed, and they saw the tomb and how his body was laid. Then they returned and prepared spices and ointment. On the Sabbath they rested according to the commandment. you.